Welcome in, guys, to NFL Week 16 recap. We start off with the Thursday game, 49ers versus the Titans. The Titans were at home this week. A first and goal touchdown by Wilson in the first week is 7-0 to the 49ers. 48-yard field goal in the second to make it 10-0. Then a field goal in the third to make it 10-3. Foreman touchdown to make it 10-10. And then 10 and 17 in the fourth by A.J. Brown, and then 17-17 by Brandon with a second and goal in the fourth, and then Titans field goal to make it 17-20 to the Titans. Then we had the Browns versus the Packers, 7-7 for the Browns and 11-3. 22-24, so good with the Packers. Where the Chubb touchdown, first and goal to make it 6-0 to the Browns. Touchdown by Rodgers, making him have a 443rd career touchdown to make it 6-7, and then a third and goal touchdown by Adams to make it 6-14. Touchdown by Bryant in the second to make it 12-14. Touchdown by Packers to make it 12-21. Crosby field goal in the third to make it 12-24, and then 37-yard field goal by Brown to make it 15-24, and then a touchdown by Scrooge in the fourth to make it 22-24. Then we get on to the Colts versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals need to win this game if they wanted to any chance to, get that playoff in the bag. Last few weeks they've fallen off a bit of a dip. But the Colts here, 22-16, another good win for the Colts here. James Conner of the Cardinals was out of this game. I don't know if it was COVID or injury, but he was out of the game. Third and goal, touchdown by Ty Hill to make it 7-0 in the first. A Chase Edmonds touchdown to make it 7-7. 9-6 in the second. Field goal to the Colts to make it 12-6. Wesley touchdown in the third to make it 12-13. 37-yard field goal to the Colts to make it 15-13. Touchdown by Carson in the fourth to make it. Touchdown by Patman in the fourth, in the third and 9 to make it 22-13, and then a field goal by Cardinals to make it 22-16 to the Colts. Going on to the Rams and Vikings, 30-23, touchdown by Sonny Mitchell in the first, to make it 7-0 in the first, and a Matt Gray field goal to make it 10-0, and a Vikings field goal to make it 10-3. Matt Gray field goal 13-3 in the second. Touchdown by Matson in the third to make it 13-10. A Brandon Powell touchdown in the third to make it 20-10 in the third. A Joseph field goal in the third to make it 20-13. Matt Gray field goal in the third to make it 30-20, and then a KJ Osborne touchdown for to make it 27-20, and then a Odell Beckham took it 27-23 to the Rams. Then we had the Bills versus the Patriots. Good win for the Bills, going now they're 9-6, beating one of the best teams in the NFL this season. You look at, I said this before in other recaps, but what Bruce Belichick has done with a rookie quarterback this season, just good stuff. And then they're 33-21 to the Bills. Touchdown by McKenzie, took it 7-0 in the first. Touchdown by Damian Harris in the first, took it 7-7 to the Patriots. Field goal by the Bills, took it 10-7, and a Diggs touchdown in the third and 11 to make it 17-7. 34-yard field goal by the Bills to make it 20-7. Damian Harris touchdown again, his second touchdown of this game for the in the third to make it 20-14, and then Singletary touchdown to make 26-14, and then 26-21, and then a knock touchdown the fourth to make it 33-21. Then we have the Ravens versus the Bengals, 21-41. Good win for the Bengals. The Bengals needed to win this game because to really clinch that place in their division, especially with the whole Raiders game going on later on. So we had a 30-yard field goal in the first, we could only 3 to the Bengals. Sorry about this, guys. Bengals touchdown by the Ravens to 7-7, and Mixon touchdown in the first to 7-9. Boyd touchdown in the 7-17 in the second. Touchdown by Mixon again, his second touchdown of this game to make it 7-24. 20, and then a touchdown by Higgs to make it in the second half to make it 14-31. Johnson made a touchdown to make it 21-34, and then Higgs and 2 touchdowns for him as well in the fourth to make it 29 and 41, or 21-41. Was it 29? Yeah, 41, and then yeah, good win for the Browns. Then we had the Chargers versus the Texans. 3-7 to the Texans in the first. 50-yard field goal to make it 6-7 in the second. Justin Jackson touchdown to make it 12-7. 57-yard field goal to make it 12-10 in the second. Chris with a touchdown in the third to make it 12-17. Hopkins field goal in the third to make it 15-17. Then a Burkett touchdown to make it 15-24 in the fourth. And then a touchdown by the Texans to make it 23-41, 29-41 in the fourth, and yeah, Texans won that. Then we have the Steelers versus the Chiefs. Great win for the Chiefs. Touchdown for second and goal in the first by Edmonds. First and goal by Pringle to make it 0-13. 0-17, then touchdown by the Chiefs on 23 going to the second. Going to the second half by Pringle. Again with a second touchdown of the game to make it 0-30. Field goal to make it 3-30 in the third. And then a field goal by the Chiefs in the fourth to make it 3-36. And the Steelers 10-36. Then we had the Broncos versus the Raiders. Like I said earlier, the Raiders needed a win to win their division. But we had Hunter touchdown and 0-7 in the second. Then we had a 49-yard field goal by the Broncos to make it 3-7. Brendan McManus field goal in the second to make it 6-7. And then touchdown by Williams in the second half to make it 13-7. Yeah, touchdown in the third to make it 13-14. Going into the third, then 41-yard field goal to 13-17 to the Raiders. Then we had the Washington football team versus the Cowboys, 14-56. Great win for the Cowboys this week. Elliott make it 0-7 in the first. Then we had a 0-21 in the first for the Cowboys, and Gibson touchdown to make it 7-21, 7-23, no 28. And then Terrence touchdown to make it 7-35. Then we had a touchdown by Washington to make it 14-56, and then that was the end of the game. Yeah, good win for the Cowboys. And Dak Prescott did some great passing in that game. With the Giants versus the Eagles, great win for the Eagles, 10-34, 7-7. Now they're 7-8. But we had a 54-yard field goal by the Giants to make it 3-0 in the second. Jake Elliott field goal in the third to make it 3-3. Boston Scott touchdown to make it 3-10 in the third. Jake Elliott field goal to make it 3-13. Touchdown by Smith to make it 3-20. And Elaine Johnson touchdown to make it 3-27. And then England touchdown to make it 10-34 to the Eagles. Then we had the Jags versus the Jets. two dumpster fires of a front office, 21-26 to the Jets. Then we had the Buccaneers versus the Panthers. It was Brady versus Cam Newton, and 32-6. Field goal by the Buccaneers to get 7-3 in the first. Touchdown by Zach. Yeah, 7-3 in the first, and then a 36-yard field goal by the Buccaneers to get 10-3 in the second. Field goal to get 10-6, and then 43-yard field goal, 13-6 in the second, and a Brady touchdown, 13. Touchdown. Then Brady's 36-yard touchdown this season. Tyler Johnson touchdown to his 19-6, and then a third in the third bit of field goal from Suckup, 22-6, and then Johnson touchdown to get 29-6, and then Suckup another field goal to get 32-6 to the Buccaneers. Then we had the Bears versus the Seahawks. Bears football on prime time Sunday night, 25-24. And even though that you had the Seahawks, a lot of say they had bear weather, and it was bear weather in Seattle with the whole snow and shit what happened there. Touchdown by Metcalf to pick it 0-7 to the Seahawks, and then David Montgomery gets a 7-7 in the second to get the Bears back in the game. Russell Penny touchdown to make it 7-14. Then a field goal by Seahawks makes 17-17 in the third. Khalil Herbert added touchdown in the third to make it 14-17. Touchdown by Gerald Hewlett in the third to make it 14-24, and they just sent a field goal in the fourth to make it 17-24. And Jimmy Graham, who returned to Seattle, had a touchdown in the fourth to make it 25-24 to the Bears. Bears football. That's right, Bears football on Sunday night. Matt Nagy. Now they're 5-10, and now you're gonna still have Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, and Ted Stone in this in charge for next season. And you'll still have these Bears fans. Like the Seahawks were bad, and I think this is maybe the end of Pete Carroll and especially Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson's going to be gone after this season. They convinced him to stay last season because he wanted to go to Chicago for not football related reasons. But I think it's the end for both of these guys. Pete Carroll, he's like 72 years old, so he's definitely going to be he's had 11 years at the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, he's 33, 34 now. Yeah, he's on his way out to maybe like the Rams or maybe even go to the Bears. Then we had the Lions versus the Falcons, 16-20 to the Falcons. Field goal for Patterson in the first to make it 3-0 to the Lions. Then they touchdown by Falcons to make it 3-7. Brown touchdown second to make it 10-7, and then a field goal in the second by Koo to make it 10-10, and then 10-13 in the third, and then Patterson field goal 13-13, and then Hurst touchdown in the fourth to make it 13-20, and a field goal by Patterson in the fourth to make it 16-20 to the Falcons. Going on to the Monday game, 20-3 to the Dolphins. Touchdown by Nick Memus to make it 7-0 in the first. 48-yard field goal to the Dolphins in the first to make it 10-0 in the first. McManus field goal to make it 10-3 in the second. Jalen Waddle touchdown in the third to make it 17-3 in the third. 34-yard field goal by Dolphins in the fourth to make it 20-3 in the fourth. And that, guys, is week 16 of the NFL over with. Leave you guys thoughts on this week's week in the comments below, guys, and I'll check you later.